evening, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to say that backstage they were playing this song by Katy Perry called Firework, which is totally one of the songs I remember listening to on the day I finished my dissertation, so it's very appropriate. But I actually realized today that for the first time ever, that it actually starts with the line, "Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?" No, Katy Perry. My name is Jonathan. That's an S at the end of an N. I'm a typo, basically. It's like Jonathan, but not. It's actually a combination of Jonathan and Thomas, but I don't usually tell people that because they always end up calling me Jonathan. People who can pronounce my name usually ask me if they can call me Bob. The answer is no. But the best response to my name I ever got was from this girl at a party. She came up to me and said, "Hi, what's your name?" Jonathan. Jonah what? Jonathan. Why? One problem I faced in my research was being too naive. I'm so gullible you wouldn't believe it, but I would. She was like, "Hi, my name's Clementine. You can call me Clem or Clemmy." I'm like, "Clemmy, like Clemmy Hands?" She's like, "Yeah, this friend of mine, she thinks my name sounds like this this classical goddess name, so she calls me that sometimes." I'm like, "Really? Which classical goddess?" She's like, "Chlamydia."
France, this land of baguettes, barrettes, and French maids, that's right.
I'm totally joking. If I were a scientist, I wouldn't cure anything. I would dedicate all of my time to studying the corn that doesn't pop at the bottom of the pan. I mean, why does it stop popping? Why does it not behave like a person eating a tub of Pringles? Because once you pop... If you know the actor Jamie Foxx, you know that his last name is spelled with 2 X's at the end. And the other day this guy told me that the correct pronunciation of his name is actually Jamie Foxx Moi. And eventually I started working for the clothes shop, H&M. Which for a long time I thought stood for Hakuna and Matata. No, I didn't mean actually have chlamydia. I just meant like, I know you don't have chlamydia, but I've had lessons in chlamydia, and I've had lessons, and I can actually kind of tell, I can kind of make out by the shape of your camel toe. You don't have it. One day I meant to ask my boss if she'd ordered snakeskin trousers, and instead said, "Trouser snake." You know, one of those moments that you expect to be really awkward, but it's not? It was definitely not one of those.
So many verbs like surrender are of French origin.
Fascinated by words and etymology and how the same term can be used in a multitude of ways. Like the word stroke. It's nothing to worry about. It's just a gentle caress. It'll paralyze your face. Procrastinate, I mean not do much work. I would make myself some food, take a shower, call everyone I know. I'd call Scottish Power. Well, in that particular case I called Scottish Power because I had to make a complaint because they refused to send me a bill, which was their duty. And the agent actually on the phone actually asked, "Why should we send you a bill?" And I told her, because duh, with great power comes great responsibility. Because my employment agency wasn't very good. This is the genuine conversation I had with one of the agency people. "Hi, we have a job here that you might be interested in." "Oh, good. But it's located a little bit farther away from central London, do you mind?" Whereabouts?" "Gibraltar." Option 3. "I often drink milk just to get a milk mustache." Maybe option 3 is the true one? It's like, "That's right, I don't even like milk." Which is about this character who wants to have a child but can't get pregnant because he's a man. And you know, if you're spending too much time on Facebook when someone says something funny in real life, you feel like liking it, but because there's nothing to click on or press, you want to awkwardly punch them in the face. When you were, you know, this whole time where you just using me for sex, and the guy went, "Well, and dinner." He was just a really good listener, just quite friendly. And then, I'm not ashamed to say that during the conversation I kind of jizzed a little. A lot. I mean, I remember she pronounced Iraq, which to me sounds like an Apple product for your breasts. When I think about my dissertation, what I really think about is the day I deleted it by accident. Yeah, I remember clearly because it was the first and only time that I screamed involuntarily. When he said no to my request, it was like a slap in the fanny. I started talking to the icons on my desktop. I'd be like, oh, Internet Explorer, why are you loading up? We both know I clicked you by accident.
I mean, you've also invented edible things. Like crab. Crab.
And if I ever started a business, it would be a Japanese bakery called Arigato. But my favorite bit in 50 Shades is when they're about to have sex for the first time, and she sees his overwhelming length and thinks, how is this gonna work? To which, as if he'd read her mind, he says, don't worry, you'll expand. So educational, isn't it? Actually, I baked a cake that day because being a researcher could also turn me into a housewife from the 50s. And I offered him a slice to say thank you, and I went, arigato. He didn't get it. To KFC. And when his meal arrived, he actually started complaining that they'd given him too much food. To which I said, don't worry, you'll expand. So it was I worked to a man, and he was a real man, the kind I imagine drinks Robinson's fruit squash without mixing it with water. Real man. It's a bit random, but my confession is I used to work as a cheerleader. Yep, male cheerleading, and got paid for it. I feel there's a lot of stigma surrounding the topic, so I thought I'd mention it. Anyways.
And where would humanity be, the human race, without pasteurization and French windows?
I was waiting for his response, and he went, just give me a KFC. And I went, you're a male cheerleader too? And I can tell you that 2 weeks before the deadline, I did a lot of crying whilst masturbating. You're the neeps to my tatties. Good job I don't have titties. Because he doesn't like them. You're a scrumptious muffin. I'd like to take a bite of and go nyom 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 nyom. That was it. I just felt really empty and transparent, and oh my god, I have felt like a plastic bag.